Good morning, family. Good morning. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Sorry, I'm driving now and I'm trying to make sure I don't get into a car accident. So today, brother, today. There you go. You can do it, put your back into it. Stop looking at the woman. Anyways, it's Saturday morning. I'm up early. I'm out here early making moves. I had to get my work done on my car, and I was like, got me a temporary rental car for the day because I'm going to be out and about. Going to see a comedian. Shout out to comedian. I should know this guy's name. Lord have mercy. Hey, you know, it's the morning time you get brain farts and whatnot. I really can't remember this comedian's name. I want to say Roderick, but it's not Roderick. It's Tony Baker. Lord have mercy. Saw Tony Baker twice in life. First time I saw him was in Houston, back in 2022 at the Houston Improv. That was a great experience. I never knew who he was. You know how it is when it comes to comedy. You just take a chance on people and see where the chips fall. And with him, it was a great experience. And then 2 years ago, I was in Los Angeles, downtown Inglewood. Matter of fact, I'm repping my Inglewood hat today. Inglewood, always up to no good. I mean, I do that too much. I'm driving. But anyways, yeah, so Tony Baker, he was at this one little lounge that's in Inglewood. At night, downtown Inglewood has a nice club, little night scene. I didn't really know about because I'm not from LA, but nice little night scene where you can actually find parking, unlike DC, and have a good time. And it was good vibes. And I was just like, I said, I know you from somewhere. I was like, Tony Baker, right? He's like, yeah, man. I said, yeah, big fan. Ain't trying to bother. I think he was with his wife, so I'm not trying to bother you. I'm just saying what's up, giving you love, and go from there. And he's like, oh no, man, come here. But he has a Chicago accent, so Chicago twang. So he's like, nah, man, come on, man, come chill with me for a second, man. Because I don't think he drinks, but he was just there chilling, getting something to eat or whatnot. I said, yeah, man. We chopped it up for a couple of minutes. I said, and I kept trying to walk away because I'm like, I don't like to be the type to just geek out over celebrities and whatnot. So he was just like, nah, man, appreciate the love, man. He's like, you don't have to follow me. In today's social media world, there's so many people that you can just follow and show love to. And the fact that you came up and was respectful, he's like, I can feel it. I can vibe with that and whatnot. So Midwest energy meets East Coast energy. So, it's all good. But anyways, before I get back home and get to it, don't forget I have a live going on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, specifically Larry's Anything Goes LLC. But if you want to check it out on Facebook, Larry's Anything Goes LLC, I will be interviewing a former coworker, Michael Alcantara, /friend. He's been an IT specialist, retired Air Force, and he has a new book out, and it's going to be talking about principles of life and how to approach things and things of that nature. So check it out. Like I said, once again, Larry's Anything Goes LLC, YouTube, Facebook, and if you haven't subscribed to my other YouTube channel, Patterson L Properties LLC. Once again, Patterson L Properties LLC on YouTube and on Facebook. All right, got that out of the way. Anyway, so at the end of the day, I saw this post and it made, inspired me to say, just go live real quick. And the post said, at this age of my life, because, I'm 42 years old, at this stage of my life, if it's not bringing me peace, profits, good energy, good information, then I don't have time to vibe with it. And then another guy was like, I don't have time to, like this brother that I know from Atlanta, from EYL University, he put on Facebook yesterday, I don't have time, young man, 28 years old. I wish I had the mindset he had at 28. He said, I don't have time to apply pressure to anybody else. I'm applying pressure to me. He said, I'm working on my finances and I'm working on my health in the gym right now. He's like, I'm trading stock in the gym and I'm lifting weights in the gym. I'm multitasking. I was like, you know what? I vibe with that energy, young man. He's like, I don't got time to be applying pressure to nobody. I'm applying pressure to myself. And that's what I implore any young person, man or female, apply pressure to yourself. Stop worrying about trying to apply pressure to anybody else. If you got to go, look, if somebody's feeling you, they feeling you. If they're not, then they're not. But you don't beg for nobody else's attention. But then number two, you don't beg. You don't need to be up anybody's butt all the time either. This whole I got to be obsessed with my significant other crap, that's dead. That's been dead with me for a long time. And I don't got time to vibe with that. It's just like, hey, I can feel you, I can vibe you, we can try to make things happen, but If somebody's got to be obsessed with you, then that means you got too much time on your hands. And if you feel like you have to be obsessed with somebody, that means you, once again, you have too much time on your hands. Don't have too much time on your hands. Life is too short. Make moves. Stop rushing life too. That's another thing. But start making moves. It's just like, and because look, we're in a time frame now where the homeless population is going to go up. It's a guarantee at this point, unfortunately. Hence, the crime rate is going to go up. It's a guarantee at this point. Thank you for the turn signal. Sorry, I gotta adjust my mirror. The crime rate is going to go up. And people's health is going to deteriorate more because people's access to healthcare is getting cut more and more today. So jobs getting cut more and more because of AI today. So that's why I've always said make money moves or you're going to live bro like a fool, because we're in a time frame now where all the people who have the money are showing their colors that they don't care. As long as their profit margins increase, you can perish. I mean, hell, you see that with the food we have. You see that with the movies and the freaking the music that's out there nowadays. It's like we don't care about art. We don't care about none of that. All we care about is increasing the profit margins. That's it. If it doesn't fall into that category, we simply don't care. Okay? You are wasting our time. That is our mindset nowadays. And I can't get mad at that because that's just reality of the way things are. But at the end of the day, if I went around you, I would have missed this way. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's unfortunate, but it's just a reality. So once again, when you deal with reality, you ain't got that much time to be dealing with fantasy. So, and like I said, because that's a reality, you just got to take heed. You got to take heed to that. It's a reality. So with that being said, life goes on. And you got to make the moves strategically in this life, and it has to be bigger than just I want to get married, have a kid, and have a career. That's the basic, simple stuff. And too many people are infatuated with being basic. And I get it. Some people's lifestyle they grew up with, they didn't have that growing up. So for them, that's not being basic. But in 2025, that is the most basic thing to have. To have it is a great thing. But when I say it's basic, because I consider it to be basic because people were doing this before there was running water and electricity. That's why I call it basic. You get it done, cool. What's next? What's moving forward? How are we moving forward? Okay, because here's the thing. Right now, and I got this from T.J. Kirkland, so I'm not taking credit for what I'm about to say. T.J. Kirkland said this to Shannon Sharp on the interview, and he said, right now we're seeing. He said, look, don't end up being old and broke. He's like, that's not a good look. And he's not saying everybody's going to end up rich, because that's never happened and never will happen. But he said, don't end up old and broke. And he's just like, that's a sad, pitiful look. He's like, respect money. He's like, and it's basically, he didn't say this, but I have a feeling he meant this. I'm not 100% accurate, but he had that saying, look, man, because he got out of his system having a nice overpriced, nice looking cars, and because he's in his mid-60s, he's like, hey, I'm gonna get a minivan. Why? Because he's like, I want my grandkids to be able to come places with me. They can't come places with me in the cruiser, in the sports car. And I'm like, that's real talk. But then he said, if your bank account and your assets don't look better than your car and your home, then you hustling backwards. Hustling backwards. And I've been saying that for the longest time. Look, I'm 42 years old, ain't never had a car payment, might get one soon, but I'm buying my old buckets till the wheels fall off, because the idea of not having and I'm not bragging about this, but not having a car payment, not having student loan payments, not having no child support payments because I don't have no kids, not having any alimony payments because I've never been married, that means a lot for a regular working guy in 2025 on some realness. All right, why? Because the cost of living is already egregious to the point where if you have these extra things sucking you dry financially, you're lucky if you'll be able to even buy yourself a new set of underwear. But that's just me. All right, that's just me. I'll leave it at that. But have a positive Saturday. Like I said, I told you what I'm getting into this Saturday. I'll be home soon. And I'm gonna hit the ground running. That's why I said if I'm gonna do a rant this weekend, it's gonna be today while I got the time while I'm driving and whatnot. And I'll leave it at that. But keep it positive. Leave a positive note. in the comment section. And once again, like I said, don't forget to check out my live on YouTube, Larry's Anything Goes LLC. Subscribe on YouTube specifically. Subscribe on YouTube specifically from my other channel, Patterson L Properties LLC. Do the great thiefy things like share and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money moves. A great labor like for the same Spanish. Bienvenido a la vida. Welcome to the life.